Boink. Right, I'm gonna need one of these. Bam. I need one of those. The Zoomy. And then some of these hard ass Beats headphones. My baby Yoda. And now I'm just gonna connect it all and make it all work all magical and stuff. Literally had to blow the dust off of that one. So many wires, so many things to make all the noise. What up, y'all? This is your boy Eric_Castañas. Oh god. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my second vid. No, that shit sucks. Maybe this YouTube thing isn't gonna work out for me. Gotta stay flossy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, I suppose. It feels really weird to say. But yeah, so this is gonna be kind of the first video that I'm gonna be launching, producing, showing, viewing, whatever you want to call it. Just videos that I wanted to make. And I've always, to start this video, I was kind of brainstorming what I wanted to do as far as like a YouTube channel goes. You know, from the past, I've always loved to produce podcasts. I've always loved to share my photos and my videos with people. And I've actually, one part of producing content is I've always loved to share the backstory behind a lot of photos and videos that I've done. And one of my favorite things to do, if you know me, is I'm just a little chatty Cathy, and I could talk about pictures all day. So this is kind of maybe a way for me to do that. I opened up my Instagram to everybody that follows me, and kind of wanted to get some suggestions from everybody as far as what they think or what they would like to see types of content from me. And I appreciate everybody that sent in a suggestion. They were all super good and in line with what I was thinking. As far as like food, skateboarding, vlogs, stuff like that, it'd be really fun. In all reality, the vlog stuff may not be as common, maybe once a month or every couple of weeks, but stuff like this where I get to talk about, you know, photos, and maybe I can bring Jer or people on to talk about other pictures or just bullshit, you know, kind of shoot the shit over a beer or something, or even do a podcast, like vlog style podcast or mini doc podcast things would be cool. But I had this idea today as far as, you know, maybe doing these videos called possibly gallery reviews, where I can pick a gallery that I use on this website I call Pixie Set. If you don't have Pixie Set, you're blowing it, because Pixie Set is the shiz. But Pixie Set's just a online gallery website where you can host your images and share it with a bunch of people. Not a sponsor, because this is only my second video and I don't have sponsors yet. But I thought this might be kind of cool. We'll see. Maybe people think it sucks, but it's going to be kind of fun for me because I like sharing my images as a whole. I don't really take a lot of one and done pictures. I have favorites, but even the platform on Instagram is kind of hard for me because I like to share a lot of images at once, and I like my pictures to be experienced as a whole. I like my pictures to work together in order to tell a story rather than one really hard ass image. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna go through these pictures, and I'm gonna show you guys what these photos from the last day or the year were, and a baby backstory, and then we'll go ahead and go through them. So let's get to it. Cool. I apologize because my voice is kind of stuffy. I'm probably talking a little bit fast, probably a little nasally, but you know, we'll get through this shit, guys. Cool. All right. So today I want to go through a little gallery that I have going, and this gallery is a gallery that I wanted to visit. This gallery is called Last Day of the Year. So baby backstory on this. So last day of the year was obviously New Year's Eve. And one of my best friends, Ezra, who I grew up skateboarding with, was like, hey, man, you should come out and just, you know, let's go skating again and let's just get some footage, because growing up, I started shooting and I started taking videos, shooting photos and videos in high school. I went to Cibola High School here in Yuma, and they had this class called CTV, which stands for Cibola Television. And essentially what it was a news show. And in the news show, it was a 2-period show. In first period, you would make videos, so 30-second videos. And then the second period, it would be like a live news show that would broadcast across the school. So at the time, all I was doing was art. I was drawing a lot, and I mean, not all I was doing. It was fun, but I was just doing primarily art, and I never picked up a camera or a video camera. And one of my friends suggested, "Hey, like, have you ever tried, you know, well, you should try doing CTV because when you're a senior and you need like credits and stuff, and you just need to take a class, you take one." So I took this CTV class, and they had an opportunity to make these short videos, and they were pretty cool. There was always a prompt, there was always something to film on, and I tried it, and I ended up falling in love with it. And from there, at the time of my life, all I was doing was skateboarding, and I had this really cool, interesting group of friends that I thought would be cool to film. So to fast forward a little bit, skateboarding has always been something in my life that has provided a lot of creativity to me. So whether if it was designing in general, or even my photography and video, I experimented a lot on my iPhone for a very long time, making videos and shooting photos of my friends skating. So the evolution is to now where, damn it, my phone's gonna die. The evolution is to now where shooting skating is very nostalgic for me, and it's very fun because it provides a lot of challenges as a photographer and as a videographer, because there's a lot of fast movements, a lot of intricate movements, and there's a lot of style and creativity that is involved with each skateboarder. So it was a pretty cool moment. It was the last day of the year. Ezra hit me up to go skating with one of our old friends, Jesse Azuna, and it was a really fun, good time. It brought back a lot of memories as far as all the shit talking and stuff. But yeah, we'll go through it. So like I said, this website's called Pixie Set. It's pretty rad for all you photographers out there. If you don't use Pixie Set, you're blowing it. In all reality, it's a really fun, it's a really cool way to show your pictures, especially to clients and stuff. But you can download and favorite, and you can sell stuff on here. It's pretty sick. Not a sponsor, but Jesus Christ, Eric, slow down. But okay, anyway, so going through. So yeah, we got there. It was pretty fun. If you can go through here and you can see, like, for me, especially with skateboarding, there's just a lot of style and a lot of creativity that goes into it. Ezra is probably one of my most handsome friends. Look at this dude. Oh my God. Such a handsome guy. I've been shooting, some of my favorite skate photos have been of Ezra, and he always just comes out with some bangers, whether if it's his smile or just his tricks, they're all good. But yeah, I was today here for this shoot. We were at the Flats. If you don't know what the Flats is like I don't know exactly what it is. It's right next to the railroad tracks, the train tracks, but it's a really cool spot that over time people bring shit and, they cement it into the ground, and whether if it's like rails or old parking blocks or benches, people will take it there and you can skate. So it's essentially like a haggard ass skate park, but it's really fun, and it provides a really cool backdrop for some photos. But yeah, they were chilling for a while, just drinking some energy drinks, getting some energy, and I was taking photos of the whole process. And like I said earlier, I love photographers and I love photos to speak as, it's storytelling essentially. And I want my pictures, that's the goal for my photos. I want my pictures to work as a whole, which is why this gallery stuff works really well for me, because, when I show my pictures to people, I want people to see the whole experience. So here's a little bit of that in the beginning. So I love this picture right here. Some of it, a lot of it is because of shapes and textures. Like when people ask me about pictures and such, like when I have to give feedback, whether if I'm doing like a Skills USA competition to like high school students, like one of the main things for photography in general, which makes it so interesting and never ending, is, using the elements of art to help you compose your photo. So stuff like this, like I really love this photo for myself because it just involves a lot of interesting shapes and a lot of contrast and, colors as well. Like, so it's really fun for me. it's a never-ending scavenger hunt for interesting photos, because when you keep those things front of mind when you're taking photos, the inspiration really never ends. So I love photos like this right here. Hold on. Shit like this makes me go wild. Makes me go real sick. I love this photo, man. So this is Jesse. They were playing a game of skate. Jesse and Ezra were playing a game of skate, and the time of day, the light was pretty harsh. So like there wasn't a lot to do. If I was shooting towards the light, crazy silhouettes. But otherwise, if I shoot with the sun, things would be pretty well exposed. But in this case, it was a good time to shoot some silhouettes, and it was pretty damn hard because, trying to time Jesse right with the sun in like a good spread eagle for his trick is kind of hard to get. But, photos like this where, it's crazy because you can show, I'm sure any skateboarding fanatic, if you show, I think the Barracks did something like this. If you do like a silhouette of a skateboarder doing a trick such as this, you can try to guess based on their style and their foot placement, like who the skater is. And I think that's so sick about skating, that everybody has this unique way of doing tricks. And by looking at this, I can easily tell it's Jesse, and because I took it. But based on his style and the way he puts his feet and everything, like it's dope. And you can tell that by shapes and by looking, and by just looking at the silhouette, you can just tell. For skating, I like to shoot. I go out with my 24 to 70. I go out with a 24 to 70 millimeter most times. I use a Sigma 24 to 70, and I use it most of the time when I'm trying to be a little bit more experimental. It's hardly ever I just put on a fixed lens, whether if it's like a 50 or an 85. I don't own a 35 yet, but I'm trying. So I just stay on the 24 to 70, and I usually stay on the 24 millimeter kind of wide angle. I don't have a fisheye, but even for these, I've never really enjoyed the fisheye. It's too distorted. In my photos, like the 24 millimeter is so dope because it just exaggerates reality a tad. It doesn't distort it too crazy. So, for example, like these photos here, I thought it was really cool because, this is shot at a 24 millimeter, and it's wide enough to where you can get a lot of information in this photo, and it's tight enough to where, you can leave it kind of suggestive. And I'm pointing like this, nobody can see, but right here in this area, like right above his crotch, I love this picture because, it's not super distorted, but it's enough with the 24 millimeter to where, it can kind of bend reality a bit and make things a little bit more extreme, which is nice. I know 18 millimeter can do something like that as well, but for me, the 24 has always worked really beautifully, and I have loved the focal length between 24 and 35. It's something that it just exaggerates life a little bit more, and every focal length has its purpose, and but trying to be front of mind of those things is what makes styles in photography. Like, for instance, these photos as well. I love these pictures, especially this short little series right here of photos, just because Jesse's always got the craziest facial expressions. But just the balance of it, especially this one right here. Hold on, let me go. This one right here. I like this photo a lot. My phone keeps dying. I'm sorry, guys. I keep shutting off. I like this photo a lot, especially because the contrast with the light, especially, I say especially simply too much, but the way that Ezra's kind of falling into the light and Jesse stays in the shadow is pretty dope. It just makes for a really interesting looking image, and yeah, I like that photo a lot. But there were some photos in here that I really wanted to get to that I enjoyed, so let me see. Sick. I gotta tell you, like, focusing for this stuff is super hard. So Ezra hanging 10 right here. This photo's dope. And by the way, I mean, not saying it's dope because I took it, but dope as in just because Ezra's doing a hang 10. So, which is hard as shit. But these photos are so hard to focus on. So for me, like if you're out there shooting skateboarding, dude, like I try to focus like right here, if you can see my mouse. or I try to focus exactly where I know where they're gonna land. So for me, like with Ezra, I was asking him, just do the nose slide. Let me see where you're gonna hit. And even though Ezra pops like right about here, this dude lands right here, or wherever the best moment for the trick is. So even though Ezra gets on like maybe about here, by the time he gets here, he's perfectly in between these two bushes, and his arms are in a really good position too. Because there's some pictures where his arms are like this, and then like this, and even sometimes like this. But this photo is really cool for me because the hang 10 is pretty dope. I haven't seen a hang 10 in a minute, but it ended up pretty sick. And then he ended up nose sliding. He almost took my lens out a couple times, but it's pretty dope. Let me see. Wicked background picture. Fucking Jesse. So growing up, Jesse was always that friend that had a couple loose screws when it came to trying tricks. And Jesse's always had mad pop. And his switch is usually better than his regular, which is insane. But in pure Jesse fashion, he's just, we haven't skated in a long time. And when it's been a while and you haven't skated in a bit, when you start landing a couple of tricks and you start getting some confidence back, you kind of want to try shit that you used to do, which is A, not a good idea because Jesse has 2 kids now and he can get broke off and that ain't cool. And B, there's no B. You just get broke off. But Jesse is notorious for trying to jump off of shit. So he grabbed this shopping cart and he wanted to ollie over it. So I thought it'd be a funny picture of him trying to steal it. But that's the flats for you, just a bunch of random shit. But it took Jesse a couple tries to get it, but my dude got it. And this picture is probably one of my favorite skate pictures I've ever taken. And this is why. So so it's backlit. So a lot of this area right here is going to be a little bit darker. And I try to shoot at like an 100 ISO to keep all this information because I knew I was going to want to bump him up. He's not fully in focus. And for me, that was my mistake because finding a focus point was a little bit difficult. And especially if he's going to be moving, it'd be hard to do that. But, and he was moving really fast for how close I was. So probably needed to bump my shutter speed. But with that being said, I think for me, why I like this photo so much is because just the placement of shapes, like how he sits in this lit up area and how he's kind of backlit and he's a little bit of a shadow. Even if there wasn't, even if he didn't land it, he did land this one. But just the placement of the elements in this photo is really dope. I love this picture for me, compositionally wise, because especially Ezra sitting here, you get the suggestive, you get that sense of scale as well with Ezra being right here. And then just all the texture from the debris at the flats was really dope. And then, and then the fact that he's in the sky perfectly and he kind of nudged in there is just really dope. I just like this picture just worked out. And as he was skating, in the back of the camera, he was getting kind of lost in the shadows from back of camera. So I tried to angle him right in the sky so he can separate a little bit, and ended up working out really well. This shit was really fun because in skateboarding, I usually try some experimental stuff because it's a place where I can just play around, which is, I think, another reason why I love shooting skating. You can't really fail. But I was trying these photos at, so one of my favorite skate videos is called Stay Gold, and they filmed it on film, which is really dope. And they have this like slow shutter technique, which I thought was awesome. And we're back. Sorry, my camera died. Anyways, so going back to, what was I saying? Oh, slow shutters. So I wanted to try this slow shutter technique. So if you have, I'm sure everybody's tried this, but for people that haven't, so in photography, if you use, and I'm going to use this photo as an example. If you have your shutter speed set to like a lower shutter speed and you follow, like say like a 115, and you follow your subject almost as a pan, you can do this really cool technique where your subject that's moving stays in focus and everything else is kind of blurry. It's a little hard. It's a little tricky. It takes some practice to get it right. Like for me, I know I didn't get Ezra fully in focus, but I knew that I wanted to get this I wanted to capture the movement of his push because I think Ezra has a really dope takeoff and a really sick push. So I wanted to try this technique. So I just had Ezra run like 1,000 times down this thing, and just to get this shot, him and Jesse. But I think it ended up working out. I like this photo a lot. It's just different for me, and because usually a lot of stuff of mine is kind of clear, and I've been trying to get out of my element a little bit and play around with techniques. And this kind of reminded me of a Stay Gold thing with the slow shutter, but it was really fun. It came out the way I liked it. The one I put on Instagram is cropped like this because it just doesn't do the picture justice doing it in a square or anything. But yeah, I really like this photo, and because I experimented around with techniques, and like I mentioned before, skateboarding is super fun for me because it allows me to play around and mess around with techniques, and this was really cool for me. Ezra's dumb good because this fool was able to do a front nose 360 shove out, which I did not get, and I blew it. It's pretty dope, but and my boy Jesse as well. So right here, the light was amazing. For most of the day, it was kind of backlit, kind of gnarly, and this was cool because it allowed me to, as the sun got down a little bit more, everything kind of softened up, and was able to bump up my ISOs a tad, and my shutter can be a little bit faster so I can freeze motion a little bit more. But Jesse was trying to do a board slide, shove it out, and I just think the colors are really dope. And Jesse as well has like a really intricate way he puts his arms when he skates, and just getting that for me is almost like a dance. It's a little dance. But I thought it was really cool, so I was trying to capture that with these pictures. And then the old 2 times if you know me, the Nux, bruh. It was a cool day, man. It was sick. It was just really fun to get out there and skate and just kind of revisit the roots and mess around. As I go back up and, view these photos, it just, these are collections that I really, really enjoy, and they're fun to look back on, and, just fun memories. It's cool adventures, and skating is one of those things that, it's hard to meet somebody that doesn't like skating, especially after they tried it. It's a tad dangerous as an adult when you go back out there, but, you can still go out there and push and have fun and such. But, yeah, this is my gallery review. That's a hard word to say. This is my gallery review of the last day of the year. Pretty brief, kind of short, but I just wanted to try this. And for me, it was kind of fun. I think maybe I blabbed a little bit too much without a concept, but I'll get better at it. But it was pretty fun for me. I hope you guys like this video. If you don't, I liked it, so whatever. But it was pretty cool. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them in my IG, in my email. You can drop them in the comments on YouTube, whatever you like. If there's a gallery or if there's a photo that you guys like on my Instagram or on my website and you want to hear a little bit more about it, just let me know, and then I can review it and show you how it's done. Not like in a cocky way, but like show you how I did it. I don't know why I'm looking there. I should look here. Show you how I did it, and I can. So thank you guys for watching this video. Super fun for me. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.